Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of In the Cave with Coach. I'm Coach Timmons. This is my first cousin, Corey Timmons, and we're gonna have just a conversation about some of the struggles that a lot of people are dealing with every day. Introduce yourself there, Corey.
I'm Corey Timmons. Me and Mike first cousins.
That's it? Okay. Well, as you know, we sit around and we have a conversation about mental health with men. A lot of people struggling with it, but they don't want to talk about it. And if they talk about it, they don't want to dig into it. So I decided, I know I'm struggling with mental health. And honestly, I don't mind telling people, I'm fucked up, but I'm working on myself to become a better person. And I know from dealing with people every day, it's not just me. Because it's a lot of people walking around smiling and really fucked up. So.
Well, you call the most fucked up cousin.
No comment. we all got our dealings. We all got our struggles. Yeah. And if you don't mind, like I said, I don't like to do the question and answer. I just want to have a conversation with you, man. You know what I'm saying? We can just talk about some stuff. So if you don't mind, we can jump right into it if you're ready.
Let me have a drink first.
Okay. What you drinking? Whiter. You know that whiter, that dog.
Let's do brown.
I get you some brown.
I want to be able to
I get it for
just take a little shot.
I let you pour your own trouble. I'm not gonna let you drink alone.
No, don't do that. That wouldn't be right.
That'll wake you up a little bit. Yeah, I told you. Well, ready? Are you dealing with any trauma from your childhood?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we already know. One of my first traumas from my childhood, well, no, hell no. One of my first traumas from my childhood was actually molestation. Had a babysitter, female babysitter. You know, at the time I didn't know whether it was right or wrong. I don't know what the hell I thought, but some things happened, and that started per se my childhood trauma. Well, actually, I can go to an incident before that.
Go ahead.
My dad is military, so when we were in Germany, some terrorists tried to kill us, the civilian families. So they blew up a whole apartment complex we lived in. My baby sister she was probably a couple of weeks old. Yeah. And the explosion was so real, like her crib was by the window. All the glass was in her crib. I don't remember a whole lot about it. I don't remember a whole lot about my past, you know, in detail, but I do remember us running down, you know, they was evacuating all the families and we was running down the street to supposed to be a safe haven. Right. And that's how we ended up leaving Germany to come. We went to Washington State.
So they sent y'all after that attack?
They sent us to the States, back to the States after the attack. So when we got back to the States, you know, that's when the incident with the babysitter occurred. And then evidently my mom and my dad went through some things. And my mom chose to call it quits with my dad. Right. She met this dude And that shit might have lasted all of 2 years. Long story short, I found my mother with a hole in her head. I was 11 years old. So, yeah, and I'm sure I've been through a lot of other things in my childhood, but those are some of the first fresh things that impacted me. And my behavior and all kind of crazy shit.
Well, hold on a minute. We're gonna unwrap some of that right back, okay? Hey, this is Coach from In the Cave with Coach. I would love for y'all to continue rocking with me. I want you to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so I can keep bringing the content to you, because the questions, they only change a little. The people change a lot. So rock with me. So we're going to jump right back on there, man, because I need you to unwrap some of that, man, because that's a big package. I need you to unwrap some of it, if you don't mind. Okay.
Well, as I'm thinking about it, when it comes to the subject, mental health, with men, a lot of us go through shit, and for me, I ain't understanding until I got shit probably 10 years ago. Yeah. And I'm almost 50 now. Right. But when those chain of events happen, naturally I was lost. Right. Naturally I was going through a lot of shit on the inside that I was 11 years old. I didn't understand none of that shit, I knew what happened, right, but I didn't understand how to deal with it. My mama was gone. Yeah, absolutely. And from what I heard, I was a mama's boy. Yeah.
So, I mean, based on that, I mean, a lot of people who I talk to, and the interviews are going to come, a lot of them didn't have their father in their life, so it changed them up a little bit. So now with you didn't have your mom in your life, so that's a whole nother. That's the other side of the street, man. So.
Yeah, but the flip side to that shit is, I had a daddy and didn't have a daddy. Right. That's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I lost my mom, right, but my dad was there, and out of respect, as I got older, I understood he had to come and get 3 kids. Yeah. He didn't have a daddy, yeah, or he had a daddy, but the daddy wasn't present, right, so he didn't know how to be a daddy. Right. All he knew how to do was take care of us. Right. And I just had to chalk it up, now that I'm older, to he did the best that he could. And now that I'm raising my kids, right, you know what I mean? Ain't no book to that shit. Hell no. Ain't no book to it. So,
and if it is, it must be wrote in Braille.
Right. And I see a little bit of shit now, you know what I mean? But I mean, just thinking about all that, I didn't have, we didn't go through counseling. I had 2 younger sisters. Mm-hmm. We didn't go through no counseling. We were being raised by a young black man in the military, mm-hmm, that had obligations to the military. Now, he kept us together, right, but he fed us, he clothed us, he made sure we had a place to stay, but it wasn't no, and he loved us, I'm sure, right, Yeah, of course. But you couldn't see it. Yeah. It was all about the business of taking care of 3 kids. I understand now a little bit better, but that shit was more trauma to me, because we lost our mom, and then although we got this man, our dad, my biological dad, right here, he's still so distant. It took years for me to even know that he was in love with my mama, so that shit impacted him.
So it tore him up just as bad as it tore y'all up.
Right. Yeah. So not only you trying to take care of 3 kids, shit, your mental health fucked up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Since you just said that, it made me think. He was so tore up from her being taken, and then every time he look at y'all, he just see her. So that's a cycle in itself.
Especially my Bridget.
Bridget look just like you. Yeah. So yeah. So I could understand how him providing financially, but he can't provide emotionally and mentally, because he's tore up along with you all.
And now being a man, I see even through all his mistakes, bro, all the shit that me and my sisters might get together and say he did fucked up.
Right.
He was a hell of a nigga.
Right.
Because he was still going through some shit too and dealing with 3 kids. Yeah. A black man. 3 kids.
Right. All by itself. Yeah.
And regardless of how we feel about it, shit, we turned out to be some hell of a kids.
All of y'all. Yeah.
So he did a damn good job, but he been fucked up while we was fucked up.
Right. It's a cycle.
Which made us more fucked up.
It's a cycle, man. And people don't talk about it. You just sit and you know, cause you know, as men, you talk to, just take it on the chin. You know, just stand on it. Don't talk about it.
Yeah,
just
shut
hold
that
it. Yeah,
shit
yeah.
Yeah, fuck you crying for.
Yeah, nigga. Don't nobody want no crying ass man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're not supposed to deal with that. Just brush that shit off. Keep moving.
Right.
That's the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life.
Right.
You know, it's people out here fucked up because all they did was brush it off. They didn't deal with it, man. And when I say people, me.
Yeah.
You gotta deal with it in however you decide to deal with it. You have to deal with the shit, man, because you can't just hold it. Because if enough pressure will bust an iron pipe, the fuck you think pressure do to flesh?
Or a vessel. Right. Yes. Absolutely.
I don't get that part, man, but you know, I'm getting it.
I got in a lot of trouble.
What? You? Really?
I was looked at as a badass, disrespectful ass child. Yeah. But nobody considered this little child, his mama didn't just die.
Right.
He found his mama dead. Right. And the person that killed her.
Yeah. So it was a murder-suicide.
And I remember that shit like yesterday. I see it like yesterday. Anytime I think about my mama, I can look at a picture and within under a minute, I see that morning, that afternoon. And that was in fucking 1988.
This has been years ago, man, probably 15 or more. But I remember you had came from Augusta and you was staying with us for a little bit. And me and you was hanging. But I remember you told me that the shit you was dealing with mentally, you didn't sleep good. So you would grab a bottle of liquor and it really didn't matter what the fuck it was. And you would turn the bottle up, bruh, and drank the bottle just to go to sleep. I remember that. I remember that because I'd be like, damn. And you would drink the bottle. And then you stagger around for a little bit, but the next thing you passed out. And you was telling me you had to do that because of all the shit that been going on in your head. That's something in itself, man.
And you know the fucked up part about it, I just told you I don't remember a lot of shit from my past, right? And I talk to people now because I understand a little more about myself. And people tell me shit about myself that I don't be remembering. Mm-hmm. But that just lets me know how fucked up mentally I really was. Because I done did a bunch of shit. I still fucking drank to go to sleep.
Yeah. Wow.
I still do it. If I don't drink and I try to go to sleep, I wake up in the middle of the night, my bed soaking wet. I have nightmares, visions of my mom pop up, shit I done in the streets pop up. You know, a lot of shit just pop up. Like thank God, currently, I have counseling.
Right, that's good.
But I got 40 years of shit to be counseled.
And people think it's a light switch.
Truth be told, them motherfuckers ain't doing nothing but sitting there listening. We driving them crazy. Yeah. If they ain't already crazy, they goddamn self. Yeah. So it's just a venting platform for the most part. Yeah. And I think letting it out, you know, this is a good thing that you're doing because it allows people the opportunity to let some things out. Me and you talk all the time, you know, so I know some of what you got going on. You know some of what I got going on.
Right.
So, but it's a lot of people don't have nobody to talk to.
That's right.
And you'd be surprised what giving a person the opportunity to let some of that shit out can do. And I ain't even gonna sit there and tell you because I had therapy shit, I think every Thursday.
Right.
But letting it out don't fix it.
No, it don't. It just gets out.
And depending on what the fuck you let out, it make it worse because now if you any type of man and you got any integrity or want to better your character, now you got to deal with that shit. Mm-hmm. And it ain't always that easy.
No.
It ain't that easy.
It's a reason why you stepped on it and held it down for so long.
Yeah.
So now when you peel it back and try to deal with it, it's hard as hell. Yeah.
That shit stank.
Yeah, it's hard as hell. And it make you actually, as in myself, I looked at myself differently. Because when I started unraveling my onions, going through the layer of the shit that I've done and been through, it kind of put that's why you like this. That's why you like that. See, those parts I didn't have because I would just hold it. And I'm man enough to tell you, when my mama, who's my grandma, but my mama that raised me, when she passed, I didn't even cry. I love her to death, but I didn't even cry because I was always taught, don't cry. You know what I'm saying? That's what I picked up. Don't cry. Just deal with it. Don't cry. Don't let them see you cry. Don't let them see you cry. I started going to therapy and talking about stuff I've been dealing with in my past. And as we got on different subjects, the talking about the past made me tear up to where I had to reach for something because I'm like, I'm wetting my shirt up and we just talking. And it was just, like I said, it was just talking about the stuff I've been through that made me cry.
Let me ask you this question, Mike. Mm-hmm. When Mama died and you held in what you really wanted to let out, how that made you feel?
Terrible. It made me feel terrible because I wanted to let it out, but I didn't know how.
That shit created a whole nother moment.
Yeah, I wanted to let it out because this is my mama. I love her to death, and she's gone. And I couldn't even let it out. I was there when she passed. I was over her talking to her. And when I had my hand on her and I was just telling her, Mom, we good, we all right. You know, if you're tired, you can go. It's okay. If you're tired, you can go. And when she finally let go, and I felt heat run up my back. It's like when she finally just took her last breath, heat ran. I mean, I felt her leaving here, and it tore me up, man. And I couldn't even cry.